We should be good then. All right, Shalom, Makim, Wak. First and foremost, we want to start by giving all the praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yoshai, Ba'ashem Kakwadash, double honors to the elder apostles of the great millstone who well, peace and salutations to the hopeful elect tabernacle of David, scattered throughout the four corners of the earth, coming back with another lesson through the spirit. And we just gonna, attack. All right, this Edomite. We're gonna spiritually mutilate, this Edomite Christian scholar, David Guziks, which you are familiar with at this point. You saw the video where he basically, gives you his opinion on the judgment of the Edomites and who they are today. All right, and we caught him in his cognitive dissonance because in the first half of the video, he made one claim, he's making one statement about who the Edomites are and the prominent role that they would play in the end time judgment. But then at the end of the video, he goes back, he contradicts, what he initially said, and that shows you that, when you understand these scriptures and what the scriptures do to people, it actually exposes, your intents of the heart, your attitude towards the scriptures. Somebody get that in Hebrews 4 and 12. Now, this word will actually test whether you have cognitive dissonance towards, certain things that are contained in the scriptures. Get that for me?
Hebrews 4 and 12. Chapter 4 and verse 12. For the word of the Most High is quick and powerful, and sharper than any two-edged sword, piercing even to the dividing asunder of soul and spirit.
Yeah, and that's what this word will do, man. This word will hurt you, especially if you a Edomite. It's supposed to hurt, because this word is directly against you. If you're an Edomite, this word condemns you. It condemns your soul. It condemns your very existence. So this word is definitely going to hurt even that much more if you're an Edomite. Go ahead.
And of the joints and marrow, and is a discerner of the thoughts and intents of the heart.
Yeah, it exposes and judges, your thought process, your true intent, your true attitude, what you truly believe. If you really believe these scriptures, basically at the end of that video, he showed his hand that he really don't believe the scriptures. Yeah. See, they'll have a insight on a lot of information behind the history in the scriptures. They'll know how to quote scriptures. They'll know how to go into it. But really, when they truly examine what this word is talking about, they can't handle that, man.
And bro, they'll go by the things that you can carnally see. You can go into the history, but the spiritual things they can't see.
Because Esau, he does a lot of excavation. He gets the grant money to go in different parts of the Middle East, where the bulk of Bible history took place, and they can dig up the relics, see the writings and stuff like that.
Right.
But actually understanding, having the spirit to understand the different timelines, of nations of people. First and foremost, the Israelites and what they had to go through with the curses and the Most High dealing with Israel. Esau can't understand that part, and he can't understand the Lord, down for Israel, etc.
Right.
And sin. Esau don't understand sin, man.
Right. Yeah, these mysteries are not given to the wicked. It's not given to the world. It's really only given to the servants, the prophets.
Yeah.
Them are the only men who are going to know and understand these judgments. Yeah. Was that Sirach 39 and 24 as his ways are planted to the holy, so are they stumbling blocks to the wicked. Yeah. So there's only certain things that Esau, will know and understand, but there's certain things that the Lord will keep out of reach of this devil, so that he can't get it.
Like faith. As the brother went into, Esau finds tangible evidence, man. Hey, because he doesn't have faith, man. He's void of it.
Yeah.
You know, because what? Hey, that gift was given unto the children of Israel, man. More importantly, the elect in 130.
That's it. You had something?
Well, I had part of the lesson.
God. And I'll read the scripture, you know, the brother posted Par Thumban Yahawada, Shalom to you Akim and you Akwaf. You know, tuning in is the brother posted Psalms 147 and 19 through 20. He showeth his word unto Jacob, his statutes and his judgments unto Israel. He have not dealt so with any nation as far as his judgments, they have not known them, praise ye Yahweh.
Yeah.
Khan. And it also tells you in Deuteronomy, the 29th chapter, that the secrets belong up unto the sons of, somebody get that, Deuteronomy 29 and 29. Not only are we given his word, but also the secrets. You know, that's only going to be given to his chosen.
Yeah, you got to be of the stock of the Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, man, to even receive this knowledge, man. And 2/3 of our people can't receive the knowledge, man. So where that leaves you other nations, man?
Exactly. Yeah, get that out of Deuteronomy.
This Deuteronomy 29 and 29. The secret things belong unto the Lord Yahweh, our power, but those things which are revealed belong unto us.
Unto us. Talking about the seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. All right, the secrets, the mysteries. All right, and this thing is really, you know, the mysteries and the prophecies are esoteric.
Yeah, come on.
You know, they're complex on purpose.
Yeah, it's like that's why we got to read precept upon precept.
Precept upon precept, line upon line.
If the Bible wasn't written in code, in a mystery, Esau would have been done well.
He would have been, yeah, hell yeah.
If it just came out and plainly said, if John 3:16 was plain, if you know the scriptures that that the Most High hates Esau were just plain that everyone could see it, Esau would have been done away with the Bible like he did during the Grecian period era. You know, when they ruled, he burned all the books. But somehow, some way, the Most High preserved His word. All right, so His elect could receive it. All right, and bring it out, you know, to the elect out there. You know, to wake up the elect. So I can.
All right, so a bit more on this.
Yeah, go ahead.
There's the secret things belong to the Lord, our power, Yahweh, but those things which are revealed belong unto us and to our children forever, that we may do all the words of this law.
That's it.
I got a precept to go with that. Actually, I got two. I'll get this one. Sirach 3:19. Many are in high place and of renown, but mysteries are revealed unto the meek.
Give 1 Corinthians, I think the first chapter.
Right.
Where it says that the Lord will come, He will use the fools to confound the wise. It's in the first chapter of 1 Corinthians.
Oh yeah, I got it. You got it.
It's around the
25.
20, yeah, around the
Yeah.
25.
Yeah.
Come.
Yeah, down to 27.
Yeah. This is 1 Corinthians 20. Because the foolishness of Yahweh is wiser than man, and the wisdom of the Most High is stronger than man. When ye see your calling, brethren, how that not many wise men after the flesh, but not many mighty, not many noble are called.
Right.
But Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai had chosen the foolish things of the world to confound the wise.
Yeah, the Most High is dealing with the underdog.
That's
The
right.
Most High didn't call LeBron James or one of these entertainers with a voice with, you know, some type of status. He called lowly men, you know, the meek, the humble. All right, to do His work, to do His will. All right, because if you know, like the scripture says in Wisdom of Solomon, first chapter, the wisdom will not dwell in a malicious soul.
Right.
All right, so you have to be, you know, the Lord is purifying us right now, but you have to to receive His word and you know, have the Holy Spirit deal with you. You know, and Esau don't got that. Esau doesn't have a righteous bone in his body. All right, nothing spiritual about Esau. Like the brothers are getting into, they go to the depths of the sea and search all these things out.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we believe through faith.
You know, they don't have the inspiration of the Most High. They going to do it, you know, based on their own, you know, mind. And they go out and do this, you know, diligent search and, you
They'll
know,
be like,
read book after book after
let's
book.
see right here,
Yeah.
David, and then they'll go, you know,
Yeah, they do all that, but don't have the spirit. They don't have the breath. Because the Lord said he was going to pour his breath upon his people, the dry bones, man. All right. Now, I looked up that word foolish because he said, Paul said, but the Most High have chosen the foolish things of the world to confound the wise. And the word foolish is from the Greek word moros. And it says, down here in the Strong's definition, it says heedless, absurd. It says down here, it says equivalent to without learning or erudition. You see?
It says equivalent to what you said, without learning?
Without learning or erudition.
Because Esau says what, man? That you have to be accredited. You know, you have to go to his what you call theological seminaries, you know, these Bible schools and all these different, you know, Christianity based.
They say you have to be ordained.
Yeah,
I'm an ordained pastor.
Exactly.
Who you ordained by? Another Edomite. Esau's structure, Esau's system.
That's right.
You're not ordained by Yahweh Shah. You know.
Yeah, Esau feels as if you have to have certificates to preach the word, man.
Yeah.
And for it to be canon, so to speak, for it to be accepted.
Yeah.
You know, that's why the Yahweh Shah said, well, he chosen the foolish things out of the world to confound the wise. Hey, because in the people's eyes, we're seen as foolish, lowly men. You know, oh, how could these men have the scriptures? How could they have the truth? You know, these cousins.
But secretly they're watching us.
Yeah. What school did you study at, brother?
Yeah.
They feel that way, but they still watch our videos. You can tell that they're being influenced by our teachings. Because that's why they're going into the scriptures that we're going into. Yeah. Now they want to talk about who the Edomites are. You know,
the Christian church has been set up for over 400 years, man. You know, since we were brought here on cargo slave ships, man, they've been pushing Christianity down our throats. Why ain't the Edomites, the topic of the Edomites, ever been brought up then? Exactly. You had 400 years to do it.
I'm pretty sure Edomites asked that question.
Yeah,
I got a quick precept. Acts 14:13. Now, when they saw the boldness of Peter and John and perceived that they were unlearned and ignorant men, they marveled. And they took knowledge of them that they had been with Yahweh Shai. And beholding the man which was standing with them, they could say nothing against it.
So basically, they were emboldened by the Spirit, and they realized, like, these men, we never saw them, you know, in the synagogue, and you know, we ain't seen them come up on a high level in the school.
They weren't taught by the Sadducees and Pharisees.
Exactly. They were basically like common men, you know, that in this world would deem uneducated.
Yeah. One day he's out there fishing and has a job. Who's a tent builder? Paul was a tent maker. One day he's making tents, and now he's, you know, preaching the word of the Heavenly Father.
Right.
They couldn't, you know, they can't fathom that in those times, and in these times they can't either.
Yeah.
Right. You know.
And Paul said, "Though I be rude in speech, yet not in knowledge." You know, he's basically saying, like, I'm not eloquent like that, but you understand what I'm saying clearly.
Yeah.
You know. So yeah, man. And it was all through the Spirit, you know. It was the Holy Spirit. That's what taught these men.
That's very I appreciate as well.
Let me read this real quick, bro. This is Matthew 11:25. And at that time, Yahweh Shai answered and said, I thank thee, O Father, Lord of heaven and earth, because thou hast hid these things from the wise and prudent, and hast revealed them unto babes.
Yeah, that's plain, man.
Yeah. Hey, what's a baby? Baby is, you know, perceived to be unlearned, man. You know, unlearned, ignorant, not knowing. You know, doesn't have the intelligence to choose between. You know.
Right. Yeah. So, if you can, are you still in 1 Corinthians? If you can, but we shall jump up to verse 19.
Verse 19. Got it. This is verse 19. For it is written, I will destroy the wisdom of the wise, and will bring to nothing the understanding of the prudent.
That's these these biblical, scholars, these different Christians that come against the doctrine, they all are being shot down by the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, man. All right, by the prophets, the servants, the prophets, man, who the Lord only revealed his secrets unto. All right. So he said that he would he would destroy the wisdom of the wise and bring to nothing the understanding of the prudent. This dude, David Guziks, as knowledgeable as he is in the scriptures and in the history, he still can't even get who Esau is right. Mm-hmm. He said he went back and he did the study, and he admitted that, based on what Isaiah 63 and Isaiah 34 said, that they would be on the earth when the Lord shows up for the judgment.
He said they would be in power.
Mm-hmm. If you wanna find the video, we can cue that up. I'm pretty sure most of y'all seen it already, but we're gonna play it again just so you can see that this guy, he actually has cognitive dissonance.
And this dude, David was his name?
Guziks.
Is he saying that he's an Israelite? Because only Israelites can teach this book, and I got a precept. Amos 2 and 11. And I raise up your sons for prophets and your young men for Nazarites. Is it not even thus, O ye children of Israel, saith the Lord? Okay, so the Israelites are the only ones that's capable to teach the book, man. Yeah. So David, what was it? Guziks. What nation are you, man? Are you saying you're an Israelite? All right. Not saying you're an Israelite. If you don't think you're an Israelite, you shouldn't be teaching the Bible, man.
That's right. That's it, man.
And if you say you're an Israelite, where's your beard? Do you eat pork, shrimp, lobster? Are you doing things that's Israelite heritage?
Edomites, I can say, well, we're all Israelites.
He'll say that shit.
Yeah, everybody want all of a sudden be of the seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob.
But it's some, what we know, it's some older Edomites, and they know the truth. They know who they are. They know their line goes back to Esau, and they know ain't really no denying it, even though they'll try to. But
the least of the society, they know they Edomites, man.
That's why they changed their name to Rothschild. Red Shield.
Bauer was it?
It was Bauer at first, which means peasant, and then they changed it to Rothschild, which means Red Shield. They knew that they go back to Esau, Edom.
They know that it's coming to earth. They know that they're peasants. They're born servants.
They're servants sitting on horses right now. But if you let that video, go ahead.
Week, we're doing something a little bit different. I want to deal with a question that came last week in the live chat that I didn't really get to. And I didn't really get to it because I didn't really know the answer. At least I wasn't confident in the answer. I said that I would look it up, and I have done some research on that, and I feel a little more confident to give an answer this particular week for this idea for what happened to the Edomites. Let me read you the question.
And he did the right thing by, when somebody asked him that, scriptures say to give an answer to every man. Yeah. And it also says study to answer. Mm-hmm. So he did the right thing by going back and doing his research, fact checking, right? And let's hear what he's getting ready to say.
That came in last week that I felt, well, let me take a look at this and I will get to this. And the question is simply this. Who is the nation of Edom today? Because it's prophesied in Isaiah chapter 63, verses 1 through 4, and Isaiah chapter 34, verses 5 through 8, that Jesus will come back to a kingdom ruled by Edom. So they have to be on the earth today. So that's
it. So so basically he just admitted that according to Isaiah 34 and Isaiah 63, that it's a future. It was making a future prophecy concerning the Edomites, in which the other nations are also implicated in that, because they're mentioned as well. But Esau, Edom is mentioned. So that means that the Edomites will be on the earth when Yahushua comes back to judge in power, right?
Correct.
We could quickly prove that with just one precept. Get Romans 1:7. Just one precept alone. Revelation 1:7.
You said Revelation?
Revelation.
Oh, somebody.
That's like direct. That's straight to the point.
Yeah, correct.
Will there be Edomites on the earth when Yahushua comes back with the angels?
There's Revelation 1:7. Behold, he cometh with clouds, and every eye shall see him, and they also which pierced him.
Wait. Even they which what?
Pierced him.
Who pierced him?
Right.
Yeah, Israel gave them over to the Romans.
Correct.
But who did the physical act? Esau.
Mm-hmm.
Who happened to be the Romans at the time, in which when you look into his writings, he likes to make the distinction between the Romans and the Idumeans. The Romans were Edomites, just as the Idumeans were Edomites. The Idumeans were Edomites who basically who fled from the land of Edom, and they were living on the borders, and they were the same Edomites during the Hasmonean dynasty, when you had John Hyrcanus. He forcibly converted them and taught them the customs, and they started to practice the customs of our law, and they also were speaking the language. So the actual Romans started calling these Edomites that were practicing our law, they started calling them Idumeans.
Idumea is just the Greek way of saying Edom.
Kind
And Esau tried to tell you how slick Esau is. They tried to put that in the Old Testament, instead of saying Edom.
Yeah, that's an anachronism.
Yeah, kind.
Yep. Yeah. So read that again.
Behold, he cometh with clouds, and every eye shall see him, and they also which pierced him, and all kindreds of the earth shall wail because of him. Even so, amen.
That's it.
Mm-hmm.
They have a book called I think it's History of the Roman Edomites.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it's history, but it's something of the Roman Edomite Empire of the Roman Edomites.
Mm-hmm.
So these devils know that the Edomites were not done away with prior to the Romans or after.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta understand where that word Roman comes from. That comes from Japheth, man.
Yeah, Romulus and Remus.
Because that's Esau, Edom's MO. They take over take over heritage, man.
Mm-hmm. Right.
They take their heritage and put them as their own. Even Esau put out movies, man, saying they did Egyptians, saying they did the Last Samurai, etc. Saying they did the Israelites.
The Hawaiians or the Polynesians,
they're the Aborigines of this land, that land. We're the original South Africans.
Right.
And they do that everywhere they go because they're a nation of vagabonds.
Yeah.
That's what they are. They're constantly on the run. So if you're on the run and you're trying to hide your identity, what are you going to do?
Constantly got to change your image.
Identity
thieves.
Yeah.
That's Esau, man.
Yeah. And watch that movie called Unknown by it was the main character was played by Liam Neeson.
Yeah.
If you watch that movie, this dude had a lot of identity changes, man. Because he was a murderer. He was killing motherfuckers, man. Well, Esau, he's the same way. He'll come into your land, he'll take you down, and then he'll start to call himself after that land. Yep.
Micah chapter 2, verse 2. And they covet fields and take them by violence, and houses and take them away. So they oppress a man and his house, even a man and his heritage.
Yeah, because his own heritage was laid waste.
Yeah.
So he got to assimilate himself amongst other people's heritage.
Try to mix and mingle. And that's what they done to all the nations, mix and mingle. And then once they get to a certain status, take them over, change their name. All right. And once they use up their land, use up all their resources, they go conquer other people and do the same thing.
Yeah, that's why Habakkuk the 2nd chapter is about what you just said.
Yeah.
He neither keepeth at home, but is a proud man, neither keepeth at home.
Yeah, like largest his desire is hell.
And yep, he can never be satisfied, and he heaped up into himself all people, all nations to himself.
Yeah.
That's what he do. That's this devil's track record, man. You know?
But who he's saying the Edomites are today, though?
Right.
Well, he said they're done away with, right? Basically, that's what
No, he said they should be here. Rewind it. Because he said they should be here at the end times or today.
I'll play it again.
Is the nation of Edom today, because it's prophesied in Isaiah chapter 63 verses 1 through 4 and Isaiah chapter 34 verses 5 through 8 that Jesus will come back to a kingdom ruled by Edom. So they have to be on the earth today. So that's the question, and let me just sort of read to you the relevant passage here. For example,
that's the answer. He just that's the question. The question was who are the Edomites today?
He just gave the answer.
He just gave the answer and then try to say, "Oh, that's the question."
Now he's gonna twist. Now he's gonna throw in that twist. You know.
So that shows you that we're dealing with the serpent. Yeah. This is how a serpent works. He's being crooked about this question.
Mm-hmm.
You just gave the answer, but now you got to come back behind that answer that you gave and try to throw some confusion in there.
What is
here you go. You should not surely die. This is what's coming up now.
Also, Ramla says they circumlocution. Wow.
Get Psalm 58 and 3 and 4.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 58, verse 3. The wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies.
Man.
Their poison is like the poison of a serpent. They are like the deaf adder that stoppeth the ear.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's like you hear the truth, but you really don't want to hear it. Like, you know, you don't really want to admit or agree to it, even though you know it's true. Denial. You know? This devil's in total denial, man. You see? But let's keep going, because he's going to show his cognitive dissonance.
Isaiah chapter 63, beginning in the first 4 verses. Now, I'm only going to read to you here the Isaiah chapter 63 passage, because actually the Isaiah chapter 34 passage is very similar. They essentially say the same thing. So Isaiah chapter 63, let me start reading to you now from verse 1. Who is this who comes from Edom with dyed garments from Bozrah? Bozrah was at one time the capital city of Edom and the Edomites. So who is this who comes from Edom with dyed garments from Bozrah, the one who is glorious in his apparel, traveling in the strength, in the greatness of his strength? I who speak in righteousness, mighty to save. Why is your apparel red and your garments like one who treads the winepress? By the way, Bozrah, the name of that city that at one time was the capital city of the Edomites, that name means winepress. Continuing on, verse...
and I've actually looked that up. I've never found such information. All right, I've never seen Bozrah mean that it means wine press.
That kind of caught me off guard too.
Yeah, I've actually looked it up, man. No, Bozrah is Batazara, which means fortress. All right, a stronghold, a fort. That's what it actually means. I don't know where he got this wine press, information from. But hey, going by his logic, let's say if it does mean that. Does it not say that the Lord is going to, in Revelation, the 19th chapter, that he's going to press the wine press?
Yeah, I was going to.
So that would mean that who he mentioned in Isaiah the 63rd chapter, that would mean that John the Revelator is reiterating what it said in Isaiah concerning Esau, Edom, and these other nations.
Isaiah and John the Revelator saw the same vision.
Mm-hmm.
Saw the vision.
They both saw the Lord come back and lay the smack down these devils, man.
Mm-hmm.
You was looking for
I'm looking for wine press in Revelation 19. wine press. Linos. A tub. Well, it's basically just describes a wine press. A tub, a trough shaped rectangle vat, lower vat dug in the ground into much new wine. Well, it's just basically it describes what a wine, wine press, but it's nothing. It's nothing particular. It just says a trough. Yeah, it's plain. It's not talking about what he said was
Basra.
Basra.
Oh, Basra means wine press. Oh, yeah,
that's not what that means. That's not what that means.
No, it has no correlation with Basra.
And the wine press is just it's a metaphor. It's symbolic of the amount of bloodshed that's going to be called, like it tells you in the Numbers 35 and 33. The land's going to have to be cleansed of the blood that was shed. The only way it could be cleansed is by those who shed that blood.
That's right.
And who shed the blood of the Israelites in his land?
Yeah, you gotta go into that.
we gotta bring that out.
Yeah, that's what we're gonna bring.
How this devil was able to get away with all that bloodshed, but now all of a sudden he ain't here.
Let's go into why is Yahushua coming back to destroy the nation of Edom, and it's compared into the wine press on his on his garment. We got to go into all of that because he Most High hates Edom. All right, who is the wicked according to Malachi, the first chapter, 1 and 4. Okay, and the Most High got Yahushua got a bone to pick with Esau.
And how do you make wine? You got a grapes. You got a old school way. You step on them forcefully, man.
Yeah.
You stomp out the grapes, man, to make it bleed.
Yep.
All right.
Yep. Who was
I read Psalms. The Psalms you asked before.
Psalm 58.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All right, Khan. So let's finish it.
3. I have trodden the winepress alone, and from the peoples no one was with me. I have trodden them in my anger and trampled them in my fury. Their blood is sprinkled upon my garments, and I have strained all my robes. For the day of vengeance is in my heart, and the year of my redeemed has come. That's the end of verse 4. So he said
the day of vengeance is in his heart. Esau is the main nation who the Lord said he would have indignation against. So that means that he's coming back for vengeance against the people who he has indignation for.
But he's a Christian, so I thought Jesus was coming back to save everyone with love and open arms.
Yeah.
But you ask him that, he'll probably say that. Oh yeah, Jesus loves everyone. He's coming down in clouds No, he's coming back to tear shit up. Excuse my language.
Mm-hmm. You was gonna pull something?
Yeah, I got Malachi, the first chapter.
Get that.
Malachi 1:1. The burden of the word of the Lord to Israel by Malachi. I have loved you, saith the Lord, yet ye say, wherein hast thou loved us? Was not Esau Jacob's brother, saith the Lord? Yet I loved Jacob, and I hated Esau, and laid his mountains and his heritage waste for the dragons of the wilderness. Whereas Edom saith, we are impoverished, but we will return and build to desolate places. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down, and they shall call them the border of wickedness, and the people against whom the Lord hath indignation forever.
So that means what? The Lord still has burning wrath. He still has a vengeance that he wants to carry out. Because he ain't forget what these devils done.
He ain't forgot about the abomination of
desolation. Yeah, which that happened twice.
Yeah,
he didn't forget about what happened during the time of the Babylonians taking us down. Yes. All these different accounts of Esau showing his hatred.
Sacrificing swine on the altar.
Yeah.
The Most High.
Yeah, because Esau, he did it as the Greeks. He did it as the Romans. Now he's going to do it as the Americans. So that's the abomination of desolation.
He destroyed the temple, and he's going to try to destroy the third temple, which is the elect.
Yeah. So let me rewind that back and then let it play.
Fury, Their blood is sprinkled upon my garments, and I have strained all my robe.
Had to come back, and it looked like he had a garment that was dyed red.
Yeah.
So when Esau was born, you know, that showed you that that was also a omen, you know, predicting, you know, his future judgment just based on how he was. His own physical appearance is a reminder of his judgment.
Right.
That's how way out the Most High is, man. So I mean, just stuff like that alone, you know, how could you say that the Edomites are gone? Well, these devils are still here, man. Still persecuting the saints, man. All right, but let's continue.
Day of vengeance is in my heart, and the year of my redeemed has come. That's the end of verse 4. So here what we have is we have a clear, and if you take a look at the broader context, you'll see this is a clear message of the return of Jesus Christ in judgment. We would consider it to apply to the ultimate judgment, when Jesus returns to judge the earth, when Jesus returns at Armageddon, so to speak. So, what's the connection here with Edom, mentioned in verse 1 of Isaiah chapter 63, and again also mentioned in a very similar context in Isaiah chapter 34? So, I would disagree that this passage tells us that Jesus will come back to a kingdom ruled by Edom. So
Let's heard him contradict himself. So what did he say in the beginning? Now you disagree.
Right.
So what is it then? Be crystal clear. Don't
being around the bush.
Yeah. Quit being a serpent and say what it is.
Okay.
Now, on this article that we found, he actually gave us, he basically gave his rendition on what he believed happened to the Edomites. All right. And it's going to go into why he would disagree with that, even though he admit after researching that the Edomites would be here. You know, showing that this devil's speaking with a double tongue. All right. So if you can find that for me.
Want me to read what he said? I would disagree.
Yeah, you can read that.
Okay. Because I would, yeah. He says, I'll start at the top. I'll just read it real quick. Who is the nation of Edom today? Because it's prophesied in Isaiah 63, 1 through 4, and Isaiah 34, 5 through 8, that Yahushua will come back in a kingdom ruled by Edom. So they still have to be on the earth today. I would disagree. It's true that Edom is mentioned in both Isaiah 63 and Isaiah 34 in connection to God's ultimate judgment. But this is because the Edomites were prominent among the nations around Israel that hated Israel. Their hatred of Israel was kind of ironic because the Edomites were descended from Esau, the brother of Jacob, who later became Israel. They settled on the eastern side of the Jordan River, essentially on the eastern side of the Dead Sea. In his comments on Isaiah, Botima gives a good sense of this. Edom was a sister nation to Israel, but it hated Israel more than any other nation. Throughout all of history, we see a burning hatred of Edom against Israel. It is for this reason that Edom is frequently presented as a representation of all the nations that hated the Jews.
How? What scripture is that? So he's basically saying that Edom is just a representation of all the nations hating Israel. Okay, what scripture could he corroborate that with?
Yeah.
All the nations hated Israel, not just Esau, Edom.
Yeah.
It even says that in the law that Israel would not be regarded among the nations. Was that Numbers 23?
Yeah.
We would not be reckoned among the heathen.
And
That they would also be jealous of us, you know.
in Psalms 83, it shows you that all the nations were confederate against us to cut us off from being a nation. And
Right.
Esau
is in that.
Is the head one.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh no, he's just used as a prop to represent the other nations' resentment of Israel. Get the hell out of here, man. You trying to run away from judgment, man. That's how you say what you say. All right. That's bullshit. Okay. Keep going.
Therefore, we see in both Isaiah 63 and Isaiah 63 and Isaiah 34 that Edom is a representative of the nations who are against God and his people. Isaiah is connecting the judgment against the Edomites, who were known as those who hated God and his people, with the ultimate judgment at the return of Yahushua Mashiach.
But yeah, I mean, we agree that the Lord's going to judge all nations. All right, that's all the old prophecy as well. He's going to judge and make war with the nations. It talks about how the Lord's going to basically put these nations in subjection. He's going to make his enemies his footstool.
Ruling with a rod of iron.
Ruling with a rod of iron, they're going to become a possession. Hey, and even going back to the beginning, you had Balaam. He actually saw what happened. He even saw the Messiah. And what the Messiah and the Israelites would do to the nations in the latter day. Find that for me, Baba Kusha. Numbers 24. And you're going to tell me that Edomites are not going to be here? It's just the other nations are going to be here, but not Esau?
All nations are going to be here.
Can I bring out this script?
Go ahead.
Ecclesiastes 4 and 16. There is no end of all the people, even of all that have been before them.
Kind. Yeah, because what Esau ain't gonna be eliminated until after that 1,000 years, man. You know, going into the kingdom. Hey, but that power of them holding that power, hey, that's upon earth, man. Let's talk about Edomites, man.
By that time, there ain't gonna be no confusion. You know, there ain't gonna be no, debates. You know,
because
the whole earth gonna know.
Because like we were saying, that all the nations have to know, just like all the nations knew of our deliverance from Egypt. All nations are going to know that the power of Yahweh shot.
The flood.
Yeah. You know, so everyone has to be put in subjection. You know, it's not going to be a nation that all nations that are written in this book, all the 17 nations, other nations are going to know that, you know, this is the last time that you're going to rule over my people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You want Numbers 24, right?
Yeah.
You want me to start at for the top?
No. Start at like 16, 17.
Okay. Yeah, this is Numbers chapter 24 and verse 16.
And this was in the vision that he had. You know, the Lord put him in a trance, and he saw it.
Okay.
And now he's telling the king of Moab, Balak, you know, what's going to happen in the latter day. Basically, I'm going to tell y'all what's going to happen to y'all by these people in the future. Go ahead.
Verse 16. He had said, which heard the words of Yahweh and knew the knowledge of the Most High, which saw the vision of the Almighty, falling into a trance, but having his eyes open. I shall see him, but not now. I shall behold him, but not nigh. There shall come a star out of Jacob, and a scepter shall rise out of Israel.
And who is that talking about? Who's that star?
Right.
Who's the bright morning star? Yahweh Shai.
That's right.
Right? So he saw Yahweh Shai in his vision, showing you that Yahweh Shai is identified in the Old Testament. All right? So he saw way into the future, showing how the Lord declares the end from the beginning. Go ahead.
And a scepter shall rise out of Israel.
A scepter, basically a ruler, a governor.
Someone on the throne.
Someone on the throne having authority, man. And that's our Lord Yahweh Shai, who's the Lord of Lords, King of Kings, man. All right, all the kings of this world, they're gonna become peasants when Yahweh Shai shows up. Go ahead.
It shall smite the corners of Moab and destroy all the children of Sheth. and Edom shall be a possession. Seir also shall be a possession for his enemies.
So Edom is going to be a possession, and Seir shall be a possession for his enemies. How is that going to happen? That's because they're going to be defeated.
That's right.
Once they get defeated, we're going to take possession of their land.
It says that in what is it? Obadiah.
Yeah.
So it talks about their.
Come.
Soon the saviors upon Mount Zion, they're going to rule upon the mountains of Seir.
Yeah.
And that's going to be what? In the kingdom. You see? That's going to be in the kingdom. Showing you that, that whole chapter is talking futuristically.
Amos 9 that says it too. About they may possess the remnant of Edom.
Yeah.
All the heathen that, well, I'll read it. It says, Amos 9 and 11, in that day I will raise up the tabernacle of David that is fallen and close up the breaches thereof. And I will raise up his ruins, and I will build it as in the days of old. And they may possess the remnant of Edom. This is future. This is prophecy. This is not talking about happened in the ancient world. And all the heathen which are called by my name, saith the Lord, that doeth this.
Yep.
Behold, the days come, saith the Lord, that the plowman shall overtake the reaper, and the treader of grapes, him that soweth seed, and the mountains shall drop sweet wine, and all the hills shall melt.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Did that dude David Guziks, did he say who took down Edomites?
Yeah, yeah. Well, he when you further read down, he talks about the Nabateans. All right, which those according to the history, that these would have to be Arabs, and that's why they always try to say that the Edomites are the Arabs.
Yeah.
No, that's
Psalms 137 and 7. Now this is King David, right? Remember, O Lord, the children of Edom in the day of Jerusalem, who said, raise it, even to the foundation thereof. O daughter of Babylon, who are to be destroyed, happy shall he be that rewardeth thee as thou hast served us. Happy shall he be that taketh and dashes thy little ones against the stones.
Lamentations 5.
Now, this Israelites taking down Edom.
Yep.
With the Lamentations 4.
And notice how it associates Edom with the daughter of Babylon. It's because they're ruling this Babylon. That's the reason why when you read in the judgments of what will happen to Babylon the Great, the description of his destruction or his fate is the same as when it describes the desolation of Edom. Like when you read Jeremiah 49, you read Jeremiah 50 and 51, it's all associated together because it's all talking about the same event. When Babylon gets destroyed, that means Basra got destroyed. That means that Mount Seir got destroyed.
I have made Esau bare. All those scriptures, those are prophetic scriptures that are really happening right now, but they haven't happened yet. The main destruction.
Matter of fact, somebody go to that book. Go to Jeremiah 49 real quick, because it gives you the fate. It says that they're gonna have the same fate as Sodom and Gomorrah did. Jeremiah 49 and 10. No, not that one. It's like further down.
17.
Yeah.
You got it, bro.
And it's Jeremiah 49 and 17. Also, Edom shall be a desolation. Every one that goeth by it shall be astonished, and shall hiss at all the plagues thereof. As in the overthrow of Sodom and Gomorrah, and the neighbor cities thereof, saith the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. No man shall abide there, neither shall a son of man dwell in it.
See? Now go over to Jeremiah 50 and verse read 35 and jump down to verse 39.
This is Jeremiah 50 and 35. A sword is upon Chaldeans, the Chaldeans, saith the Lord Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai, and upon the inhabitants of Babylon, and upon her princes, and upon her wise men. A sword, it's like
you can read that next one and then jump down, yeah.
Kindness 36. A sword is upon the liars, and they shall dote. A sword is upon her mighty men, and they shall be dismayed. It's 39. Therefore the wild beasts of the desert with the wild beasts of the islands shall dwell there, and the owl shall dwell therein, and it shall be no more inhabited forever. Forever, neither shall it be dwelt, and from the generation to generation.
So it said the same thing about what would happen to Edom. It's giving you the same judgment because this is the same event. All right, Edom, Babylon.
Yep.
Old virgin daughter of Babylon. You see, the reason why Edom is associated with Babylon the Great is because the Edomites will be the prominent rulers of the mystery Babylon. You see, and then if you look at the personification of this society, it goes back to Rome,
Babylon.
It also goes back to Babylon. And even when you compare the characteristics, Nebuchadnezzar, who was king over the Neo-Babylonian Empire, he was puffed up with pride. His pride was through the roof, just like Edom. They had wise men just like Esau has wise men.
Sorcerers. That type of shit. Witchcraft. Use witchcraft.
That's right, man. All right, so finish that. Jump down. Yeah, keep reading. I think you're at verse 40.
All right. It's gone.
50 and 40.
Yeah, this is Jeremiah 50 and 40. So and it reads, as Yahweh overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah and the neighbor cities thereof, saith the Lord, so shall no man abide there, neither shall any son of man dwell therein.
That's so going back to what the brother read in Jeremiah 49, 17 and 18 concerning Edom. That's the same judgment, the same prophecy.
That's right.
Okay, and what is that talking about? When the missiles hit. All right, when Yahushua comes back in the heat of the war of Armageddon, the Lord's going to have the spirit on these other nations to shoot off their nuclear arsenal. Those are the weapons of the Lord's indignation. So not only is these nations going to shoot down on Babylon, but also when Yahushua comes back, he's going to get in on it too. And that's how this devil is going to get, brought down. All right. So that was it on that.
Play the rest.
No, that was the end of the video.
Oh, that was the end of the
video.
Oh, okay.
But if you can pull that back up and keep going.
Okay, I was at the.
Because we could shut down right now because we just read another future prophecy that he didn't mention about how the Edomites are going to be destroyed. And it's synonymous with the judgment of Babylon being destroyed. It's the same event. Okay.
Back to the
army. Well, is he going to destroy Edom, but there ain't going to be no people there?
Yeah. He'll go over to the Levant and destroy the land of Edom.
Yeah, with nobody there.
The old capital of Edom, Basra.
Right. So when the Lord uses these names, he's referring to the people group.
Like they say, Jerusalem is a people group for its place. It's not talking about I will go through the midst of Jerusalem. The angel's not going over there. The angel's going to get busy over there in Israel, but it's talking about the people first, the midst of Jerusalem.
That's right.
Was that Ezekiel 9? Yeah. But back to this article, it says, so what happened to the Edomites? They were judged by God as the prophet said would happen, such as Obadiah and Jeremiah.
It didn't happen yet. Because if it did happen, then they would have to, give the evidence on that.
Yeah.
You got to give us the time period, the location, and also because he mentioned Obadiah. That means that both in the southern kingdom. It tells you how the Judah and Joseph would kindle that fire, and they would basically do away with Edom.
So don't be stubble.
Go to it.
I got it. This is Obadiah 1 and 18. The house of Jacob shall be a fire, and the house of Joseph a flame, and the house of Esau for stubble. It clearly points out Esau. It didn't say anything about none of the other nations. Well, I don't know how they try to tie the other nations in.
Well, yeah, because I mean, when you start from the 10th verse on down, it does mention the other nations. But Esau is he's at the forefront of that.
Yeah.
All right, he's at the forefront of the hatred. You know, like for example, when Jake went to war over there in Vietnam, you know, you had Jakes over there. You know, they were marveling at how those Vietnamese over there were calling them niggers. And it was like, and Jake was like, who the hell told them that we were niggas?
Yeah.
Obviously Esau, you know, was you know, putting it in their head that, you know, Jake over here is a nigger.
It's even more,
you know?
It's even more prominent today because of the social media. Because what these heathen nations see on TV or social media, that's how they perceive us as just wild, crazy niggas.
Yeah.
You know, they don't.
It's through what Esau perpetuates about us.
Yeah.
You know,
look at the movies. You know, they got subtitles, but they see us acting like niggas.
Right.
You know. All right, back to the scripture. And they shall kindle. It's like it. In the house of Esau for stubble, and they shall kindle in them and devour them, and there shall not be any remaining of the house of Esau, for the Lord has spoken it.
Yeah. There shouldn't be any remaining of the house of Esau. But here it is, the Lord's coming back from Basra.
Right.
Yeah. So he's going to go to a place where there's no Edomites
To destroy.
to destroy.
Yeah.
No, man. But let's
All right.
keep going.
It says, so what happened to the Edomites? They were judged by God, as the prophet said would happen, such as Obadiah and Jeremiah. The Edomites were conquered by the Nebatean Arabs, perhaps as early as 500 BC.
Mm-hmm.
Nelson Gluck, the other side of the Jordan, explains that not all the Edomites left the region of Edom, where the Nebatean Arabs took control of the area. Those who did leave the land of Edom and went to the area of southern Judea, the land of the western side of the Dead Sea, these became known as Idumeans, also mixed with
Mixed with the people. I think that's what he intended to say.
Mixed with the people already living in that area. When the Idumeans continued conflict with the Jewish people in the time of the Maccabees, the Jewish people conquered them and assimilated them by force.
Yeah, and that's going into when you go into First Maccabees, the 5th chapter. You know how they had a battle in Arabatine, which is is near it's like southwest of the Dead Sea, and they had a battle there, and they actually conquered them there. Now I remember you had a Edomite scholar by the name of was it Ricky Gantz, him, G220 Ministries, and then it was y'all remember Jesus is the Word, that guy.
Yeah.
They tried to use that scripture to say that this is where
They were done away with.
they were done away with. Somebody go to that real quick. First Maccabees 5. And then based on the name of that location, because it said Arabatine, they tried to make it seem as if
The Nebatean.
that means that they would have to be Arabs, that the Edomites were Arabs. That does not mean that. Okay? And you got to know geography to be able to, you know, catch them lies, man. First Maccabees 5
and 3.
Yeah.
It's First Maccabees 5 and 3. Then Judas fought against the children of Esau and Idumea at Arabatine.
And this is where they tried to say that Obadiah 18 was fulfilled.
Yeah.
But back in Obadiah verse 18, it says that Judah and Joseph,
Yeah. So
both the house of Israel and the house of Judah would come together.
The Northern Kingdom was far gone. It was over in the Americas.
Yeah.
What they call it?
Arsarit. Yeah, they was already gone. So how could that have applied? Right? Go ahead.
It's continuing. It says, and he gave them a great, Esau and Idumea at Arabatim, because they besieged Israel, and he gave them a great overthrow, and abated their courage and took their spoils.
Yeah. So basically, they conquered their ass, they fucked them up, and they basically spoiled them. They didn't say that they exterminated them. They went war with them, and they took their spoils. That was what happened right there. It was a battle. That did not mean that the Edomites were done away with at that moment.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because at the same time, you got Alexander's 4 generals was Edomites. So they Ptolemy, Cassandra, they were still ruling in their respective areas. So it wasn't like, just because they put a group of Edomites to flight, that doesn't mean that they completely exterminated them.
Yeah, it even tells you that how David and Joab back in this time, they went and slaughtered all the males of Idum in the land of Edom. Him and Joab. But does that mean that the Edomites were exterminated? Did King David and Joab exterminate the Edomites? No. Because obviously there was some Edomites that fled. You know, some of them actually Hadad, they went down into Egypt and got buddy with Pharaoh. And then by the time David and Solomon were passed on, that's when they start to, come back around. They start to revolt against the kingdom of Judah. So you gotta know this history, because these devils, man, they'll lie to you. If you don't know this history, they twist shit, man. All right. Read the next verse, because it also tells you what happened right after that.
This is 4. It says, also he remembered the injury of the children of Bean, who had been a snare and an offense unto the people, in that they lay in wait for them in the ways. He shut them up, therefore, in the towers, and encamped against them, and destroyed them utterly, and burned the towers of that place with fire, and all that were therein.
So we were just having wars, heated battles. The Lord raised up the Maccabees because, this was the time when, the Lord was going to rededicate the temple. Right. So that's it on that. That's it. So you can go back.
All right. It reads, F.F. Bruce writes in his book, Israel and the Nations, about how there was a conflict and war between the Jewish people and the Idumeans in the time of the Maccabees, the period between the end of the Old Testament and the start of the New Testament. Bruce, regarding the Jewish leader John Hyrcanus, around 100 years before the birth of Yahushua. To the south, he warred against the Idumeans, who had been such a thorn in the side of the Judeans since the dark days at the end of the southern monarchy. He subjugated them and compelled them to accept circumcision, and this be formally incorporated as members of the Jewish nation.
Yep. So that's how they started to get. You had a group of Edomites. After they got subdued, John Hyrcanus, he basically said, if y'all want to be around, y'all going to have to keep the law. Just the same thing that happened when the Northern Kingdom was banished. They was carried away into Assyria.
Yeah.
And then you had Shalmaneser. He had other heathen nations imported into the land of Samaria. And when that happened, they came over there and they came with their heathenistic ways. They started to bring their idols with them. And the Lord basically sent lions to fuck them up. So they had to learn after the manner of the land in order to dwell there. Right? So the same thing applied, when they was coming around, they had to, hey, get circumcised. We grow your beard.
Yeah.
You have to live after our manner if you're going to be over here. So that's what ended up happening. Okay.
And they had to comply unless they be put to death.
Yeah.
So
So Idumeans were basically Edomites who were practicing the custom of the Jews. All right. Go ahead.
By the end of spring AD 68, the Romans had laid.
So you got Idumeans right now.
Yeah.
In our land right now. Right after they would be destroyed, that the true children of Israel will be multiplied into the land. You know?
But this is a cut right here. This next sentence to they own damn article. It says by the end of spring AD 68, the Romans had laid waste to Idumeans. The Romans, it wasn't Jakes and the Roman army, but the head of the Romans was Edomites. Was Idumeans. This was
there was a separation. The Romans didn't call themselves Idumeans. They were calling the Edomites that were with Jake. They were calling them Idumeans. But these were all Edomites. You see how Esau makes a separation now? You got Amalek. They call themselves Ashkenazi. They call themselves Jewish or whatever. And then the American Edomite, he calls himself
Sephardic or what?
No.
What do they call themselves?
They call themselves American, Caucasian American.
White people.
So they always try to make a separation, based off of their religious practices and their ideological belief systems. Yeah. But they're still of the same stock. Yeah. Go ahead.
This was effectively the end of the Edomite people who had been in decline and mixing with neighboring people for a long time.
Come on, man. So basically what he's trying to say here is that what the Lord did with the Edomites is the same thing, what the Lord did with the tribe of Dan. Why you can't identify Dan today. So they're basically saying that
they just mingle.
They just fizzle it out and mingle, among the people. Yeah. So now we can never know who they are today. Well, if that's the case, then the children of Israel can't be identified today then, because the Israelites are scattered and intermingled among the nations as well. Mm. So does that mean that they declined and fizzled out? So now it's just anybody could be an Israelite. That's basically what they teach.
Anyone could be grafted in.
Yeah. That's some bullshit, man.
You might can't procreate and shit.
Yeah, come on, man. But you just read it. In Ecclesiastes 4, there is no end of the people. Mm-hmm. Plus the Lord said, all those of us that are scattered, he said he's going to sift us. Mm-hmm. So that means that the Israelites are actually identified. They're on the scene today. Did the Lord cast away the seed of Israel that he foreknew? No.
If they can search out the stars and the depths of the sea,
right?
They try to do that.
Right. Read this again.
All right. This was effectively the end of the Edomite people who had been in decline and mixing with neighboring people for a long time.
So basically they basically said that the decline started to happen basically after
68 AD.
Yeah, which pretty much this was during the height of the Roman wars with Judah, and basically that was when you had the Flavian dynasty, and we know that a lot of Japes fled. They went into the interiors of Africa. They went to fled to other parts
of Europe.
So you also had Edomites that fled as well. Okay. So once they fled, you mean to tell me they fled and they just disappeared? Like they just left the planet Earth after that? They left stage, center exit left on a stage, and never to return.
No sex, no babies, nothing.
He telling me they pulled a Judy from Family Matters. She went up the stairs, and she never came back down. Come on, man. But that's what Esau would want you to believe, because he's trying to run away from his judgment.
Because he knows he's an Edomite, man.
Yeah. I was thinking, how do you explain Revelations 20 about the bound in the bottomless pit 1,000 years? Who is that?
Right.
It's like
the dragon.
Yeah. You tell one lie, you got to answer a lot of questions about who the Edomites are, who the dragon is, who's that old serpent,
who's the devil that's gonna cast you in prison.
Yeah. What's it say? The old serpent, who's the red horse?
Yeah. And also I want to address, because it says that they have been on the decline and mixing with neighboring peoples for a time. So basically you can identify them because they mixed in. Well, the seed line, has that been erased, or is that still here?
Still here.
The seed is still here on the earth.
Yeah, the seed don't mix.
Huh?
Can't mix seed.
Yeah, this is plain, man. just like the seed of Israel still here, and we've been scattered.
Huh.
So how is Esau not?
Come on, man.
Yeah, they just erase like basic biology out of their minds.
Yeah.
The man carries the seed, man. Can't mix seed.
Yeah. Read some more.
Okay, Con. It says there were still people who lived in the area of Edom on the east side of the Dead Sea, but they were not Edomites in any real sense. Whatever that
means, right?
Yeah. There were still people who lived in the area of Idumea on west side of the Dead Sea, but they were not Edomites in any real sense. The identification had more to do with geography than with genetics. Then he's still asking the same question. So what happened to the Edomites? As a genetic people, the descendants of Esau are lost to history. Of course, their DNA lives on some.
The reason why they're saying is because these Edomites, they didn't. When we mentioned it earlier, they go around these other nations, and they insert themselves into that heritage, and they
take it as their own.
They take it as their own. They oppress a man in this house, even a man in this heritage. That's why he seemed to be lost. Right. Motherfucker, you ain't lost.
Right.
We know exactly who you is, man. You still that same red piece of shit, man.
That's right.
Still showing your hatred towards Jacob. All right? Straight up, man. You ain't lost. All right? And it even tells you in down to the 12th chapter that in the last days, knowledge shall be increased.
Yeah.
So the knowledge is, we have that knowledge. We know exactly who you are.
Mm-hmm.
All you gotta do is just look at, this current world system. All right, we know that this is the resurfacing of the Roman Empire. Look at your architecture.
How the system's set up through the Senate, how they're elected presidents and
Congress. Back to Rome. You exalt yourself as an eagle. Yeah. The Romans they exalted, their emblem was, their symbol was the eagle.
Yeah.
Why is America symbol was the eagle?
So many.
Set thy nest among the stars. You know?
Who's going up there? Who the only one going up there like that?
Yeah.
You see? Who got their satellites out there? Who got a space force?
Right. Yeah, who's gonna fight against Yahweh Shai and the angels, man? What the scripture say? The devil and his angels.
Yeah.
Who is that referring to?
Yeah, because Edom means red. So who's the red man on the planet Earth?
Redneck.
So-called white man. He's not
Redneck.
white. He's red.
Yeah. There's still a group, a nation of red people on the earth. Who are they? Who are these people?
Edomites.
Come on, man.
That's another way they try to disguise themselves, call themselves white people.
Yeah,
right.
They just make up. Esau makes up shit, man.
Yeah.
We're Caucasians. We're white. Americans.
All right. Then you even got those Edomites that'll say, well, my family is immigrants too.
Yeah.
We came from German, which is Heman, which is still Esau.
Yeah.
Okay. As a genetic people, the descendants of Esau are lost to history. Of course, their DNA lives on in some sense, but they are so.
Bro, that in itself, bro. That cuts everything that he's been said. If that DNA, which really goes back to the seed, if it's still here, Esau is still here.
Mm-hmm.
You see how they talk? You see how they talk, man?
Yeah.
Give me Psalms 52. Psalms 52 and also Psalms 144 and 11. They can't help themselves, man. Yeah, the DNA is still here, but but they're not all the way here though.
Right.
Nigga, stop, man. Just stop, man.
Can I read something real quick? Sperm DNA. The head of the sperm contains the DNA, which when combined with the egg's DNA, will create a new individual.
Come on, man. So he pretty much, yeah, man. This devil's a trip, man. You know, yeah, the DNA lives in some sense, but there's no definable genetic group of Edomites today, though.
Right. What are you talking about, bro? Man, you can't
just be going in circles.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah, the sperm determines the nationality of the baby, man.
Yeah.
He's half Edomite and half, no, he's an Edomite.
Even the woman has the DNA of her father.
Exactly.
You know?
Right. Okay, their DNA lives on in some sense, but they are so intermixed with other peoples that there is no definable genetic group of Edomites today.
Then you have dumbass Christians. You know, yeah, that's right. That's right. You know, because people migrate and go everywhere. You know, so how are the Edomites still here? Well, shit, y'all shot scattered Jake, man. Hey, does not say James was 1 to the 12 scattered abroad, greeting. Hey, what? We were spread to the four corners, man, north, east, south, and west.
But think about that. They scattered, the Most High scattered us, and Esau raped, robbed, and murdered us, and we're still here.
Yeah.
Right? You know, look at Gad. And it's still, they probably killed over 100 million Gadites, and it's still probably a lot of Gadites here. Of course, they're intermixed between Jake. It may be a lot of Judites that look like, that are actually Gadites that look like Judites, but hey, it's the Most High. It's the Most High's will. The Most High not going to do away. Damn sure ain't going to do away with his seed.
Yeah.
And he ain't going to do away with Esau, so they can't get judged.
Right.
He's a man. The Most High is a man of his word. He holds his word higher than his name.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It says when Isaiah and other prophets mention Edom in connection with future judgment, as Isaiah 34:64. They are mentioned because they represent the nations that hate Israel. Is this like going in circles?
So he's saying
We're making the same argument.
Yeah.
everybody that hates Israel are represented as Edom.
As Edom.
No.
What kind of shit is this?
No.
Shit, that don't make no sense, bro.
That hate Israel.
Now he's given a what the Christians call a eisegesis. Mm-hmm. Let me real quick.
I got that song too, bro.
When you look up that term eisegesis, this is basically what he's doing. He's trying to insert his opinion into the scriptures. Yeah, that's basically what he's doing here.
This is going like I was reading down. It just really don't. I don't see the point or the correlation how they're trying to. They go to John 18.
It says eisegesis is the process of interpreting text in such a way as to introduce one's own presuppositions, agendas, or biases.
Hey, well, that's adding unto the word. You know, man, Esau ain't supposed to be touching the word anyways.
Mm-hmm. Because I mean, I don't see how the Most High is gonna specifically name Edom, but then it's only applied to the other nations.
Right.
Edom have nothing. The people of Edom have nothing to do with it.
Kind. Esau himself and his nation are exempt, but Moab, Ammon, Elam,
basically they often to get wiped out. They often to get obliterated. But the Edomites, they're free from that because they ain't here no more. Or if they are here, they're just scattered among the people.
Yeah.
He can't even make up his mind on that. So are they vanished?
Right.
Or are they just sprinkled among the people? Which one?
Yeah, which one?
This article is crap, man.
It's bullshit.
It's bullshit. Like they just like this month. He just copied and pasted some shit. He really did. If you read the article, brother, you have to read it because he's just going in circles because he said this already.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It says because the Edomites were famous as being those who were close to Israel, but who hated them and rejoiced in Israel's calamity, they became representative of those who hate the people of God.
And they go get their issue right alongside Edom.
Darn.
That's basically what the Lord is saying. Hey, Edom is gonna get their issue, and these other nations are gonna get their issue.
Yeah. The same nations written in Psalms 83. That crafty.
Because they were all confederate with one another.
Exactly. Hey, because what Maccabees tells us that one nation has not taken a part in her spoils.
That's it, man.
It says John 18 says that Yahweh Shai identified himself to those who arrested him in the Garden of Gethsemane. But other gospels say that Judas identified Yahushua, which is, I don't even know where.
I don't know where he's.
Yeah,
Now he's.
CSS it. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Now he's doing a smoke screen.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
Because what does this have to do with
I'm saying the same.
his argument?
Yeah, I mean, it's no point of us reading this.
You can end it now, bro. You can start reading it now. So basically,
Talking about Judas.
this was David Guziks' understanding on who the Edomites are today. And basically, he gave you a roundabout way of he gave you confusion pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't know whether Esau does exist or if they are, we don't know what people group they might be among today. But genetically, they're here, but we don't know who they are. And like, he's intentionally sowing confusion right there because he cannot live with his fate, his destiny. He can't live with it, man. That shit it terrifies him. They're horrified by prophecy.
God.
They
still got commentaries in the blue letter.
Yeah, and he has some good informative commentaries. That's the thing. But that cognitive dissonance, it just starts seeping out when they talk about this topic. That's because they're being affected by this thing, man.
Yeah. People are leaving the Christian church. They're questioning certain things that they're bringing out. Who are the Edomites? Well, who are the Israelites? Mm-hmm. Who are these people? What does this mean in Revelations? Who is the beast? Who's the mark? And the closer and closer we get to the end, you're going to see a lot of these Christian pastors, the Catholic Church, be put on the spot. Mm-hmm. And they're going to say, man, you don't know shit. They're going to leave and take their money with them. And that's what really hurts these devils. That's what really hurts the Christian church, taking away that money.
Yeah. Let's close out with 2nd Ezra 6.
You got it.
Did you want this Psalms 52 still?
Oh yeah. Get that.
It's Psalms 52 and 2. Thy tongue deviseth mischiefs like a sharp razor, working deceitfully.
Mm-hmm.
Thou lovest evil more than good, and lying rather than to speak righteousness.
Yeah, because that's Cain right there.
Yeah.
That's the devil. He can't tell the truth.
That's the accuser.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So thou lovest evil more than good, and lying rather than to speak righteousness. Thou lovest all devouring words, O thou deceitful tongue.
Yeah, he's deceitful, man, and that's their nature. The serpent is more subtle than any beast of the field, and somebody that's subtle, they deal with craft, they deal with deception. Them motherfuckers got that shit mastered, man.
Same thing.
Right. Yeah. There's 5. Yahweh shall likewise destroy thee forever. He shall take thee away and pluck thee out of thy dwelling place and root thee out of the land of the living.
That's what's going to happen to Esau.
Yeah.
You're going to perish forever like your own dung, man. You ain't going to have any place to inherit. Yeah. They shall look. They're going to be like, damn, where is he? He's going to be chased out as a dream of the night. Yeah. Go ahead.
This is 6. The righteous also shall see and fear, and shall laugh at him. Lo, this is the man that made the Most High. Lo, this is the man that made not Yahweh his strength, but trusted in the abundance of his riches and strengthened himself in his wickedness.
Yeah, that's the nobles of Esau.
Yeah.
The super rich elite. Mm-hmm. They strengthened themselves in their wealth that they stole, that they did a lot of genocide to accumulate. They did a lot of stealing.
What is their wealth gain? They basically their wealth, they control the military.
Yeah. They control everything.
Yeah.
So like it says in Job 9:24, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. Who's in power right now?
It ain't nice.
If not where and who is
if not where and who is he? So get that in 2nd Ezra.
This is on 2nd Ezra chapter 6 and verse 7. Then answered I and said, Where shall be the parting asunder of the times? Or where shall be the end of the first, and the beginning of it that followeth? And he said unto me, From Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born of him, Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth.
Right.
That's it. So the end of an age is with Esau Edom. So that proves what? That he would be in power when the Lord comes back.
That he not done away with.
All right, the end of his world.
Because to say that would be saying that we're in the kingdom now.
Yeah.
Exactly. You know, and shit, it's clear that Jake ain't in the kingdom. Hey, going just like how we always go into the parable of Lazarus and the rich man. Shit, this is our hell, man.
And it tells you in Proverbs that people rejoice when the righteous are in authority, or when the wicked bear hold, the people mourn.
Babylon is still
Esau is the end of the world. You also read in Malachi that he's a border of wickedness, and you see in the people are in mourning. Second Ezra 6 and 9, Esau is the end of the world, which is why you see all the uproars, why you see all the mourning of the people on the earth, because that's who's in power, the Edomites. That's simple and plain, man. So you could be in denial all you want, man. But the fact remains, you are the Edomites that the Bible speaks of. You're the devil. You're that old serpent. All right, the devil and Satan, man. And you're being revealed in these last days, man. All right? Whether you accept it now or accept it later. All right? It's over with. You through. Your kingdom is finished. Rejoice and be glad. You done did everything you wanted to do. You done got all you got it all off your chest. You got everything that you desire. You got it off against the saints, man. The Lord literally tied our hands behind our back and let you get off everything you got, man.
That's really what the last 3 kingdoms, the Grecian, Roman included, you know, and the new birth of the Roman Empire.
But hey, guess what? You gotta get, we gotta get that back, man. We want that back, man. We want reparations for that.
That's right.
All right. So hey, man, you know, that's pretty much the lesson. You know, we want to just go in, you know, because I did a lesson, you know, previously, but we went to furthermore go in on this devil, man. You know, and guess what? We'll still use some of your commentary if you got some information that's useful. But you still condemned. If you an Edomite, you're condemned, man. You finished. All right, so with that, we're going to close out. We're going to give all the praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash. That honor to the elder apostles who grew up the great millstone. Peace and salutation to the elect. We're going to say Shalom, Wa Baba Ball.
Baba Ball.